Hello students. So we are going to discuss cell injury. So what is cell injury? Variety of stresses a cell encounters as a result of changes in its internal and external environment. So the changes in internal and external environment due to various stresses will lead to cell injury. Cell response to cell injury. Whenever a normal cell undergoes cell injury, either it will adapt to the condition or it will undergo reversible cell injury or irreversible cell injury, depending on the nature of stress amount. If mild to moderate stress is affecting the cell, then it will undergo reversible cell injury. If the stress is severe and is persistent, then irreversible cell injury will occur. In case of altered functional demand, the cell will undergo adaptations which are atrophy, hypertrophy, hyperplasia, metaplasia, and dysplasia. If stress is removed or the etiological agent is removed, then the cell will restore its normal morphology if cell undergo adaptation. In case of reversible cell injury, the cell will undergo degenerative changes, subcellular alterations, and intracellular accumulation. If the stress is removed, then cell will undergo repair and healing to become normal, because there is cell injury, but it is reversible type of cell injury, so healing will occur. While in case of irreversible cell injury, when the stress is severe and persistent, cell will undergo cell death. Etiological agents of cell injury. Causes may be genetic or acquired. The acquired cause include hypoxia and ischemia. Most important cause of cell injury, that is hypoxia and ischemia. Physical agents, chemical agents, microbial agents, immunologic agents, nutritional derangements, and aging. Various psychogenic diseases, iatrogenic factors, and idiopathic diseases also contribute to cell injury. So, pathogenesis of cell injury. In case of reversible cell injury, ischemia or hypoxia is the main etiologic factor, which will lead to decreased ATP synthesis. How? By decreased oxidative phosphorylation. Ischemia will lead to changes in mitochondria, leading to decreased oxidative phosphorylation, which ultimately lead to decreased ATP levels. Now these decreased ATP level will further lead to failure of sodium potassium pump and increase glycolysis. Decreased sodium potassium pump or failure will lead to influx of sodium ion, which further lead to influx of water that will lead to swelling of the cell. There is also influx of calcium, and opposite to sodium, there is efflux of potassium. So, influx of sodium, water and calcium and efflux of potassium will lead to cellular swelling, loss of microvilli, bleb formation, endoplasmic reticulum swelling and myelin figures. Formation of myelin figure. There is increased glycolysis, which will lead to decreased glycogen and decreased pH. Decreased pH due to increased lactic acid due to anaerobic metabolism. Anaerobic metabolism will lead to increased lactic acid or accumulation of lactic acid leading to decrease in pH, which will further causes clumping of nuclear chromatin. There is reduced protein synthesis by detachment of ribosomes leading to decreased protein synthesis and further lead to lipid deposition. Now the pathogenesis of cell injury in irreversible cell injury. If the cell injury is irreversible, there is intracytoplasmic calcium accumulation. Intracytoplasmic calcium accumulation, which will further lead to enzyme activation. ATPase enzyme activation, phospholipase, there is activation of proteases and endonucleases. So, in irreversible cell injury, main agent in pathogenesis is calcium, influx of calcium leading to intracellular accumulation of calcium, which will further activate the enzymes. ATPase enzyme will lead to decreased ATP. Phospholipase will decrease the phospholipid. Protease will lead to disruption of membrane and cytoskeletal proteins, and endonuclease will damage the nuclear chromatin. So, pathogenesis of cell injury will lead to reduced ATP synthesis, loss of calcium hemostasis, disrupted membrane permeability due to enzyme activations and formation of free radicals. So, morphological changes in cell injury. In reversible cell injury, there is swelling of the cell, there is formation of blebs, then swelling of mitochondria, dispersion of the ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum swelling, clumping of nuclear chromatin. This is clumping of nuclear chromatin and autophagy by lysosomes. So, main important finding is swelling. There is generalized swelling of the cell as well as organelles. Swelling of organelles, mitochondrial swelling, endoplasmic reticulum swelling that will lead to detachment of the ribosomes from endoplasmic reticulum. Then detachment of ribosomes will lead to decreased protein synthesis. Then clump formation, clumping of nuclear chromatin. And small densities formation, calcium deposition will lead to small densities in mitochondria. While in irreversible cell injury, there is defect in cell membrane will lead to cell membrane permeability. Phospholipase enzyme is involved. There is myelin figure formation, lysis of endoplasmic reticulum, and large densities. Calcium deposition is more, leading to large densities in mitochondria. The rupture of lysosomes and autolysis, and changes in DNA, nuclear pycnosis, nuclear karyolysis, and karyorrhexis. First pycnosis is there, then karyolysis, and then fragmentation, which is known as karyorrhexis. So main differences between reversible and irreversible cell injury morphologically are: there is swelling of the cell in reversible, while there is cell membrane defect in irreversible cell injury, and there lysis of endoplasmic reticulum, lysis of liposomes, and lysis of nuclear chromatin, deposition of large densities, and deposition of small densities in mitochondria in reversible. This picture is depicting the changes in nucleus. These are pycnotic nuclei. They are small in size, pycnotic nuclei. These are karyorrhectic changes. There is multiple nuclear degradation. There is fragmentation of the nucleus or nuclear material, and this is karyolysis, dissolution of the nuclear material, dissolution of nucleus. You are seeing no nuclear material.